Heart's only beating like 25%, but as long as I stay focused and stay on the right path, then everything will be all right. So thank you for all your...
Ray J took the stage on Valentine's Day with blood visible on his face and a heart monitor strapped to his chest, amid reports that his heart was barely functioning. On February 14, 2026, the 45-year-old singer, born William Ray Norwood Jr., appeared at the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium for the Kelly Price and Friends Valentine's Day concert. The lineup featured Kelly Price as a headliner, joined by Bobby V, Sammy J. Holiday, Sunshine Anderson, and Pleasure P, who was added late to the bill. Doors opened at 7 p.m. The show began at 8 p.m., and tickets were sold through Ticketmaster. Promoted as an intimate, romantic night of non-stop R&B hits for couples, the concert offered a close-quarters experience rather than a massive arena setting. When Ray J stepped out in a bright orange jumpsuit and sunglasses, the crowd welcomed him warmly, expecting to hear classics like One Wish and other fan favorites that have long soundtracked relationships and heartbreaks, but within minutes. Social media lit up over what viewers noticed on his face. That was the promise of the night, and Ray J looked ready to fulfill it. He smiled, moved with confidence, and leaned into the intimate atmosphere of the room, embracing the romantic energy fans came to experience. But as audience members recorded the performance, cameras captured something no stage presence could hide. In multiple fan shot videos, a red liquid unmistakably resembling blood could be seen dripping from beneath his sunglasses down the right side of his cheek. It wasn't a fleeting moment. The streak remained visible as he crossed the stage, handed red roses to women in the front rows, spoke closely with fans, and delivered beloved R&B hits. In one clip, when he briefly adjusted his sunglasses, the liquid appeared to be coming directly from his eye area. Still, he didn't stop. He didn't urgently wipe it away or address the crowd. He continued performing as if nothing was wrong, preserving the Valentine's Day mood the audience had paid for. Then came the second shock. Midway through his set, Ray J slowly unzipped the top of his bright orange jumpsuit, revealing his bare chest. On the upper left side was a noticeable medical patch widely identified by fans and reported by outlets such as Complex, Yahoo, and Hindustan Times as a heart monitor, likely a Holter monitor or similar cardiac tracking device. The reveal appeared intentional, almost as if the device were part of the show rather than a sign that his heart was under medical observation. Before the concert, he had even posted on Facebook acknowledging the monitor, writing that he had a heart device attached to his chest, but still felt blessed to be outside with the people. Skeptics focused on one major point. Ray J did not collapse. He didn't require emergency medical attention during the show, nor were there reports of paramedics rushing backstage afterward. He completed his entire set, remained energetic, handed out roses, interacted with fans, and later reportedly told supporters he was fine with no visible trace of blood left on his face. To those questioning the narrative, that endurance was the strongest evidence. They argued that someone with heart function reportedly as low as 25% would not be able to perform physically demanding R&B ballads for nearly an hour without showing signs of acute distress. From their perspective, something didn't add up. However, while the blood became a subject of debate, the cardiac patch on his chest was undeniably real and aligned with what Ray J had publicly disclosed in the 5 weeks leading up to the concert. Those earlier disclosures had already made national headlines, covered by outlets ranging from TMZ to NBC News. What unfolded on that stage in Shreveport did not occur in isolation. It happened just weeks after he had reportedly been rushed to a Las Vegas hospital, where doctors delivered diagnosis that fundamentally shifted the narrative around his health. Whether the blood was theatrical or medical remains uncertain, but the heart monitor was not a prop. It represented a documented medical reality involving pneumonia, heart failure, multiple prescribed medications, and a prognosis reportedly serious enough to include discussions measured in months. As of February 16, 2026, Ray J has not issued a direct public statement specifically addressing the visuals from the Shreveport performance, not the apparent bleeding, not the chest monitor, and not the implications of performing under those conditions. Instead, he has continued posting on social media as usual, leaving the public to interpret the images for themselves. Despite maintaining his public-facing presence online, the footage from that Valentine's Day concert has now merged in the public imagination with the hospital videos from January, forming one escalating narrative the internet can't stop dissecting. The image is stark. Ray J performing on stage with what appears to be blood running from his eye while wearing a cardiac monitor, all against the backdrop of a heart reportedly functioning at just 25%. To many observers, the gap between his drive, perform, and his body's physical limits seems to be shrinking by the week. On January 6, 2026, TMZ reported that Ray J had been admitted to a Las Vegas hospital suffering from severe pneumonia and heart pain. Doctors conducted x-rays and an echocardiogram as they worked to determine the extent of the damage. Footage later obtained by TMZ showed him in a hospital bed connected to oxygen lines, IVs, and cardiac monitors, wearing a blue surgical cap, while medical staff performed examinations. The clip spread quickly across social media and major news platforms, becoming defining images of the first wave of 2026 headlines surrounding his health. It wasn't his first life-threatening battle with pneumonia. In October 2021, he had been hospitalized in Miami with a serious case of non-COVID pneumonia during the pandemic. Due to hospital protocols at the time, he reportedly shared a wing with COVID-19 patients and later told TMZ he genuinely feared he wouldn't survive. That episode required oxygen support and a lengthy recovery. But the January 2026 hospitalization marked a turning point. This time, the pneumonia didn't just compromise his lungs, it reportedly exposed a far more serious underlying heart condition that had gone undetected for years. In emotional Instagram live sessions posted around late January 2026, Ray J spoke candidly to fans about the diagnosis. He revealed in real time that his heart was operating at only 25% capacity in number that would soon become central to every conversation about his health, his performances, and the risks he appeared willing to take.
I want to thank everybody for praying for me. I was in the hospital.
That admission delivered with almost casual directness during an Instagram live session, wedged between business updates and light personal conversation, was medically staggering. When Ray J told viewers his heart was functioning at just 25%, the number carried enormous clinical weight. For context, a healthy heart typically has an ejection fraction between 55% and 70%, meaning that percentage of blood is pumped out of the left ventricle with each beat. At 25%, a patient falls firmly into the category of severe heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, HFrEF.
My heart's only beating like 25%, but as long as I stay focused and stay on the right path.
Ray J blamed the condition on years of heavy drinking and drug use during the peak of his fame. He admitted to consuming 4 to 5 bottles of alcohol a day, using Adderall and other pills, and living in a non-stop party cycle that he believed severely damaged his heart. Though not speaking in medical terms, he described one side of his heart as black and done, acknowledging that he felt invincible for too long and that the consequences had finally caught up to him. According to Ray J, doctors gave him a grim prognosis. During live streams, he used phrases like, "2027 is definitely a wrap for me," suggesting he may have only months left. His statements were widely reported by outlets including NBC News, People, Billboard, USA Today, and Page 6. Combined with hospital footage first shared by TMZ, the story dominated headlines in the February 2026 in a January 29th interview with TMZ. He outlined his treatment plan, saying he was taking 8 medications, including Entresto, a leading heart failure drug in Jardiance, an SGLT2 inhibitor now widely used to reduce hospitalization and death risk in heart failure patients. He also revealed he was taking Lipitor, atorvastatin, for cholesterol, along with 5 other unnamed medications part of a daily regimen that underscored how serious his condition had become. Doctors reportedly ordered strict bed rest, no alcohol, no smoking, and no exceptions. They were also evaluating him for a possible pacemaker or implantable cardiovascular defibrillator, ICD, a device used to prevent sudden cardiac death in patients with severely reduced ejection fraction. As he faced those decisions, his sister, Brandy Norwood, became a central pillar of support. Ray J said publicly that Brandy covered his medical and personal expenses for the rest of 2026, something he described with visible emotion during multiple videos, calling the gesture crazy in disbelief. The siblings, who previously appeared together on the reality series Brandy and Ray J, a family business, have long shared a close bond. But this moment was different. It was family stepping in during a life-threatening health crisis. Outlets including the Los Angeles Times and USA Today reported that his parents, Sonia and Willie Norwood, were also helping with doctor visits and day-to-day care as he adjusted to his new reality. Even while sharing these deeply personal updates, Ray J's live streams retained moments of unpredictability. During the same Instagram live session where he disclosed his 25% heart function, a woman identified as Sheila, who had reportedly been with him during recovery, playfully tapped him while demonstrating boxing moves. In another context, it might have seemed harmless, but given his condition, the moment felt unsettling. His reaction wasn't exaggerated for laughs. It appeared genuinely pained, a reminder that his body was operating at a fraction of normal capacity, and that even minor physical contact can have an outsized impact.
I can't work out. Don't ever hit me like that again.
He went on to say the light punch had thrown off his balance and even disrupted the left side of his thinking. For someone whose heart is reportedly functioning at just 25%, those symptoms carry far more weight than simple discomfort. Reduced cardiac output can limit blood flow to the brain, meaning even minor physical jolts may feel destabilizing. He told viewers he would call his doctor, Dr. Gold, in the morning and that he needed to take his medication immediately. Then, almost abruptly, the live stream shifted back to business talk announcements, plans, and promotion as if nothing serious had just been revealed. But for those watching in real time, especially viewers who tuned in because of his health disclosures, the message was clear. Ray J knew his body was not operating normally. Moments that once would have seemed harmless now carried visible consequences. Every interaction felt heavier, every movement more fragile. Part why this health crisis has gripped the internet so intensely is because of what Ray J built long before his diagnosis. He isn't a former celebrity quietly removed from relevance.